Welcome. In this video, we're going to be going over MECCA's Beauty Loop program, the loyalty program that has absolutely transformed beauty retail. Now, if you don't know who MECCA is, I'm pretty sure they're just available in Australia and New Zealand. They're $1 billion cosmetics company. And in the last 8 years, they've grown tenfold. They're literally doing $1.3 billion in sales per year, which is estimated as of last financial year. And a big part of this is thanks to their loyalty program, which I will get to and which is what this video is about. This is going to be a very, very insightful video for e-commerce stores who are looking to improve their customer retention and become more profitable, because we know the cost of ads is ridiculous. So if we can focus on improving our loyalty and improving our retention and increasing our customer lifetime value, it's going to go a long way to helping mitigate this and increase profit. If you've ever stepped foot into a MECCA store or browsed their website, you would know this is not just your standard beauty retailer. MECCA have transformed into a ginormous company from a single Melbourne storefront into an empire where they now have over 100 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Last year, in 2024, they opened 13 new stores. And if you've seen these stores and if you know where they're located, you would know how big of a deal this is. They're in the biggest shopping centers in the country, and they're pretty much supermarkets for cosmetics. But in my opinion, and the reason I'm making this video is the truly remarkable thing about MECCA isn't their expansion. It's not the way that they can sort of get a monopoly on their products. It's the way they've mastered the art of customer loyalty in an industry that is notorious for fickle consumers and endless competition. And just in e-commerce in general, loyalty programs are a thing that are done very poorly, in my opinion, which will become really apparent throughout this video once I show you the strategies that MECCA are employing. Now, at the center of MECCA's success is their Beauty Loop program. This is a loyalty program that has absolutely changed the game. It's not a traditional loyalty program, which is about collecting points for discounts, earning cash back, referring friends, anything like that. It's a sophisticated system designed around status, experience, and community, which has been a big part of helping MECCA achieve what they've done, which is completely extraordinary. It's genuine emotional connection with over 4 million members. I will highlight this. They have over 4 million members in their loyalty program. If you're an e-commerce brand, you'd be flat out having 4 million impressions on your ad, let alone 4 million members in your loyalty program. And what makes this even more ridiculous is that is nearly 15% of Australia and New Zealand's population. I did not believe this when I first read an article saying that MECCA had over 4 million members in their loyalty program when I was researching for this video. I genuinely did not believe it. The population of Australia is only like 25 million people. And I was like, how do they have over 4 million in their loyalty program? It is crazy. It's ridiculous, but it just goes to show how powerful and how big this loyalty program truly is, and why it's such a big part of their ability to do over $1 billion in sales and have years where they open 13 different stores. Now, this video is going to be breaking down the exact way their Beauty Loop program works, the psychology that makes it so effective, the way that they've turned their clients into content creators, and more. Pretty much this whole video will just be unpacking it start to finish, how MECCA have actually able to transform spending guilt into aspiration through the way they've designed their tiers, why making spend thresholds public has actually increased their customer engagement, how they've turned all of this into a cycle of free marketing and PR, and most importantly, how you as an e-commerce brand, if you're watching this, can apply these as actionable strategies to your business, regardless of your industry, even if you're not in the cosmetics industry. Whether you're in beauty, fashion, fitness, or any direct-to-consumer brand, the principles we'll cover today offer a blueprint for building loyalty that is going to really outpace what your competitors are doing, which is just relying on transactional relationships, and how you can actually create genuine brand advocates. So let's get into it. Now, why do loyalty programs matter? Take a look at this LTV breakdown. See if I can make this bigger for you. Essentially, this covers what most brands' LTV is going to look like against different customer cohorts. And what that means is 70 to 80% of your profit is going to come from your top 20% of customers. Now, this little table here breaks down the average sort of e-com brand by ideal numbers into 10 customer deciles. So say you had 1,000 customers, each one of these groups would represent 100 people in sort of order of how much they spend with you. So in this instance, the top 10% of customers here have a median lifetime value of $1,200. The top 20% of customers have a median value of $700. Combined, these two make up about 70% of your revenue, which is usually around 80% of your profit, because these people also usually don't rely on discounting as much as the bottom tiers as well. Now, what this means is that it's much more expensive for you to lose a customer in one of these top tiers than it is to acquire a new one. And acquiring new customers are tough enough as it is. Like, acquiring new customers is already super expensive. But if you look at this, like how much it would cost you to lose one of these customers, considering how much profit they've probably generated for your company, is definitely going to outweigh this, which is really important to consider when we're watching this video. Nurturing the top 20% is vital. It's vital for customer retention and to become profitable. Each dollar that these people spend is way more profitable than a first-time purchaser. And like I said, these people also don't rely on discounts. They will shop year-round at full price. So let's get into the Beauty Loop program and what it is. Now, it's a tiered loyalty program that rewards customers with curated product boxes, exclusive experiences, and early access rather than discounts. This transforms their customer spending into aspirational status, community membership, and really makes them feel like they're getting bang for their buck. Most brands have some sort of loyalty program like this. Pretty much like, you'll get 20 points for following on Instagram, or you'll get 1 point per dollar spent, or, if you make an account, you'll get 5 points. If you review a product, you'll get 40 points. They all have this transactional relationship where it's, you give us X and we'll give you Y. You can then cash this in for discounts in the future. That is the loyalty programs of 90% of brands. But truth be told, it's just not as effective as what someone like MECCA have curated. So let's run through it. MECCA have this Beauty Loop program, which essentially has 4 levels, and they've actually recently introduced a 5th one, which I'll get to. But essentially, they're all grouped by yearly spend. And this is public, this is accessible. This is public information on their website. For these people on level 1, they know if they spend between $300 and $600 per year, they're going to get these 3 things: curated boxes, birthday surprises, complimentary samples. For people who hit level 2 and they spend between $600 and $1,200, they will get 7 curated gifts, their Beauty Loop boxes, as well as other bonuses, birthday gifts, complimentary samples. For people in level 3, between $1,200 and $3,500, they get 8 boxes, insider access, extra product rewards, exclusive invitations. Like the value stack keeps getting better and better. People in level 4 who spend more than $3,500 get even more than those people. Now, for all online orders over $25, they also get samples. Everyone who spends more than $300 in a year gets this. Now, they've actually added a 5th level, which is an undisclosed amount, which is invite only, called the Magic Circle. And if you spend, my guess is if you spend close to 10 grand in a year, you're probably going to get invited to this Magic Circle. So they have found a way to group these customers into different spend tiers. Now, what they would have done is they wouldn't have made this up. They would have run a distribution similar to this and worked out where their customer distribution was sitting. They would have made a tier that was above the top 10% and made that their Magic Circle. For people who are sort of the 20 to 30% top spenders would be their level 4. Their level 3 would be the sort of 40 to 50% top spenders. Level 2 would sort of be the 60% top spenders, and level 1 would be the 70% top spenders. Then they would be trying to get every sort of bottom third of customers into level 1, which would then send them into level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. So they've probably mapped this out very, very meticulously and very, very purposefully to ensure that the numbers are actually incentivizing customers based on their own data to progress into the next tier. So it's important that you do that for starters. But this is very, very insightful. How many brands do you know that just advertise like yearly spend tiers? Like, no one does that. They all sort of make it a points transaction. Obviously, you could reverse engineer it for the most part, but psychologically, like, not many brands are just out here going, well, if you spend more than $3,500 with us, we'll give you X, Y, Z, and then try and incentivize people to spend more. Because for a lot of people, if you're told how much you spend with a brand, it's probably a negative touch point, especially when you're sort of in a cost of living crisis or an economic downturn. If you were, say, a supplement brand or something maybe a little less essential, say like a fashion brand, and you're like, oh, you've spent $3,000 with us, a lot of your customers are going to freak out and go, geez, have I? Like, I need to rail in my spending a little bit. And like I said earlier, the crazy part is nearly 15% of Australia and New Zealand's entire population is signed up to this program. 4.3 million people. So let's talk about the psychology of this program. Like I said, they've taken a non-traditional route and they've made it so you know the exact dollar figure you need to spend to level up into the next tier. And like I've also said, if most brands did this, they would suffer. In most industries, customers do not want to be reminded of their spending habits, especially if it's not a necessity. But MECCA can do this because of a phenomenon called the lipstick effect. It's a fascinating sort of concept in consumer psychology. Now, during economic downturns, and this is what the lipstick effect is. During economic downturns, when people are cutting back on major purchase like cars or vacations or holiday homes, you see a surprising twist. Sales of small luxury items, particularly lipstick, actually increase. Now, this concept was actually popularized by Leonard Lauder. He was the chairman of Estee Lauder, another cosmetics brand who's popular in this industry, back in 2000, early 2000. He noticed lipstick sales were spiking during a 2001 recession. So we were in a recession, a lot of spending across the board, housing, cars, all those sort of big ticket items were plummeting. No one was buying them because they didn't have the money. But customers were still spending more money on lipstick and the lipstick sales went through the roof. And the theory is that when consumers can't afford big indulgences, they turn to luxury affordable items that still deliver the emotional high of spending. And it's not just about makeup. This is a really important facet of psychology and consumer spending. And there's sort of three reasons for this. Firstly, emotional resilience. People want to be emotionally resilient. And these small purchases become acts of self-care and normalcy when everything else feels uncertain. The $30 lipstick says, the world might be chaotic, but I can still take care of myself. Because people put an element of status on that item and they know that like there's an emotional connection. They know if I buy this, I'm still taking care of myself. And as long as I can take care of myself, the world's going to be okay. So even in times of uncertainty, humans always look for the truth. That's why we have a society that has always thrived on leaders, for example, because in times of uncertainty, people want to look for answers. They want to look for safety. They want to feel like that they know what's going on and someone knows what's happening. It's the same thing here. When there's times of economic uncertainty, people will still buy lipstick because it represents normalcy. It represents self-care. Second, we have our visible status. When designer handbags are out of reach, expensive holidays, first-class flights, when all of that becomes too expensive, a luxury lipstick becomes the accessible way to signal taste and status. It's a very, very small entry point to a premium brand experience. It's like when you see people get their first taste of money and they'll go into a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci and they'll buy the cheapest thing in there. It's like they want to feel like they're enjoying this premium luxury experience. They want to feel like they're that type of person, even though they're forking out to just get the smallest possible thing. Visible status in luxury cosmetics is a real thing, and people will spend money on that to look like they're doing well and to try elevate their own personal, self-image. It's just the reality of human nature, and data supports this. And thirdly, we have control, very similar to the first one. When, the world feels overwhelming, being able to spend money on yourself it's a treat. People like being able to treat themselves and feel like they're in control. Now today, we see these same psychology trends playing out with premium coffee, eating out, streaming subscriptions, Uber Eats, fitness accessories, and other affordable luxuries that deliver outsized emotional returns for relatively modest prices. Now, back in the day, someone might have needed to buy something really expensive to get that emotional high or to feel like they have high status. But these days, someone might just buy an expensive gym membership, buy a new set of activewear, something like that. And for brands, understanding the lipstick effect means recognizing economic downturns don't necessarily mean customers stop spending altogether. They just shift how and where they spend. The winners are the brands who can position their products as meaningful indulgence rather than frivolous expenses. Now, this is a very important lesson. If you need to wind back and sort of rewatch this psychology part, I definitely recommend it because the learnings here and the way that you can apply this to your own brand is very, very important. Now, the third thing that MECCA have done is they've turned their customers into content creators. This Beauty Loop program is one of the most brilliant loyalty systems, and not just because of the reasons I've listed above, not just because of the psychology, not just because of the way they've, spaced out the tiers and, shown people how they spend. Like, it's already so left of field, but for other reasons, which I'm about to get to, it's still one of the most brilliant loyalty systems. Every quarter, they drop these Beauty Loop boxes. And every time they do that, MECCA essentially triggers a coordinated content explosion across social media. The PR, marketing, and upside they get when they release these boxes would nearly liquidate the full cost of running the loyalty program. Take a look at these examples that I found in like 5 minutes of searching. And like I was seeing this stuff on my own social media feeds somehow by design. It's like they knew I wanted to see it. But if you search MECCA, the first like 6 results that come up on YouTube are like all Beauty Loop unboxing. And I just searched MECCA on Google. I didn't even search for the boxes. I just searched MECCA, and like all these sort of videos were coming up, like level 2 and 3 Beauty Loop unboxings, Beauty Loop box level 2 quarterly box, unboxing. It's all people who were making videos about MECCA. Now, next one, TikTok. You go onto TikTok, you're seeing Beauty Loop 5 extra gift, 15,000 likes. MECCA level 3 Beauty Loop box unopening. We buy stuff from MECCA just to get the Beauty Loop, 20,000 likes. How many loyalty programs do you know that turn customers into full-fledged content creators? How many people would you have seen flexing joining a loyalty program? Like, I know so many fashion brands and supplement brands who have loyalty programs. How many people would you see getting on their Instagram and going, look, I've got 20,000 points at my favorite supplement store? Like, no one's doing that. It's weird. Like, no one is ever flexing their involvement in a loyalty program. Like, it's just not like a high status thing. Whereas MECCA have this system where their boxes are so aesthetic, they're so aspirational, they have so much value that people are so invested in what's in those boxes that they post it all over social media, all over YouTube. They flex what level they are. It's genuinely like a status symbol. So by the marketing and PR they would get from releasing these boxes, they would be fully liquidating the cost of running this loyalty program. So they're not giving discounts, they're giving free boxes. People are getting the boxes and then they're posting about it, and it's turning into free marketing. And now they're just in this cycle of free marketing for the boxes. People buy more stuff so they get better boxes. They're increasing customer loyalty, increasing retention, making it aspirational, and getting it all paid for by the impressions and the views racked up by their customers who are then posting about it. It is absolutely ridiculous the way that MECCA have done this, and it is so aspirational and so impressive that every brand should be studying this. And it's, I'm surprised I haven't made a video about this sooner, but like I've been in the rabbit hole of loyalty programs, and the way that MECCA have been able to do this is fascinating. But now, how can you implement this for your store? The reality is operating at MECCA's scale is nearly impossible, even if you're already a 9-figure brand. The technology they have, the team they have, the hold on the market they have, like not everyone can do this. But you can take inspiration. And here are sort of 4 takeaways from this video that I think you should apply to your own store. You should be prioritizing value over discounts. Discounting can devalue your products to your most loyal customers. MECCA aren't giving discounts, they're just giving out freebies. Don't just make your value the products that you can't sell. Make these genuinely valuable. So if you were doing a gift box, don't just stack it with crap that you can't sell. Make it genuinely valuable. Thirdly, it's more expensive to lose a top tier customer. You can afford to spend money on gifting to these people. It is pure upside. Even if MECCA weren't getting the viral loop out of it, they would still be paying for these Beauty Loop boxes with how much it incentivizes people to spend more throughout a year. Fourth thing you need to do, you need to break down your LTV by tiers of customers to work out who you should be rewarding. I have another video on this, which I'll show you in a second. So for example, let's look at the way that you could break down your LTV in a quick fire way to understand how you could roll out tiers. In this scenario below, we need to be getting more cash out of the top 20%. So if you look at this, the top 20% here, this is a real stores number, the top 20% are only bringing in 65% of revenue. We want this to be closer to 80%. So in this store, it's only representing 65% of our revenue. Way too many customers are only purchasing once, and we're not getting enough sales out of the top 20%. So what can we do? We can leverage these 2 insights. We want to nurture this top 10% with more gifting, and we want to offer more surprise and delight and clear tiers and ascension strategy for the people who have placed one order. Two super simple, quick insights you can get from running an LTV breakdown. You look at this, you look at your real numbers. I look at this straight away. Now you know, okay, I need to be getting more revenue out of my top 10, top 20% customers. Let's roll out some sort of gifting strategy. Secondly, I'm clearly getting too much revenue from people who aren't my top customers, which means I have far too many people placing just one order. I need to work on getting people repeat purchasing. So how can I do that? More surprise and delight, or maybe I have a really clear tier and ascension for people once they have placed their second and third order with us. Super simple. You can roll out those two insights pretty much within the space of 2-3 weeks and you'll start increasing your LTV. Then you could take some inspiration from MECCA, make your gift boxes something really cool, really aesthetic, put something really valuable in it, a not for sale item, send this to your top 10% of customers, bang, you'll have people posting on stories, making videos about it, you'll have people carrying it with them in public, whatever it may be. Free marketing flywheel. It's super, super simple the way that you can implement stuff like this. You don't need to build this super complex like MECCA system which tracks everyone's daily and yearly spend, and then they build a full-time team around curating these boxes. Like, you can start small and build up. This is your sort of inspiration to just start breaking down your LTV, work out where your customers are, and then roll out something that works for them. What I recommend is watch this video on my YouTube next. I break down how to actually get the data to do one of these LTV breakdowns and to see where your customer spend is sitting so you can identify gaps in your retention strategy and start building it up from there. I hope this video helps. If you haven't already, go on and watch this next one. I'll be making more content on this soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and I'll incorporate that into my next video. Cheers.